Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will be learning about food chains. Okay, so here we see this picture. This is an example of a food chain. The sun is a primary source. Well, it's always like the beginning of the food chain, like at least sun or water is at the beginning. And the second source that would be usually on the food chain is a producer. A producer are organisms that use sunlight to make food. So a plant is an example of a producer. Producer do this by the process of photosynthesis. They are the green parts of the leaves. So if you look in something closely, you could see the third source that would usually be on the food chain is a consumer. There's a primary consumer and a secondary consumer. But before we start onto that, what is a consumer? A consumer is an organism that eats producers, plants. Yeah. So there's primary consumer and a secondary consumer. A primary consumer is a consumer that is usually herbivores. But what is herbivores? But what are herbivores? So there are 4 types of consumers actually. The first consumer will be herbivore, the second consumer will be a carnivore, the third consumer will be an omnivore, and the last consumer will be a decomposer. Now what is herbivore, omnivore, carnivore? I forgot about decomposer. Composers. Alright, now a herbivore is a type of consumer that only eats plants. They don't eat meat. They don't eat meat and plants. An omnivore is a type of consumer that eats both meat and plants. They eat both. Like we are omnivores because we eat both meat and plants. Carnivore is a type of consumer that only eats meats. It does not eat plants or producers. It eats other consumers. A decomposer is a consumer that gets energy by breaking down dead animal body. So say for example, you see a dead bird. That dead bird, decomposers will just break down the dead body. Example of decomposer would be bacteria or mushrooms, germs and stuff. Bacteria, yeah, just to say it all is bacteria. And if you see a dead bird, then the bacteria would just start it's like putting their nutritions back into the soil or dirt. So here's the thing to know. A primary consumer is always a herbivore. A secondary consumer is always a carnivore. So the sun will be a producer. Sorry, not the producer. The sun is always like the primary source of it. Then there's the producer. Then it's gonna be the primary consumer, and it's gonna be a secondary consumer, and I guess I could say this is also a secondary consumer. So that is all for today. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you.